Sup everyone, welcome back to Man of War 2. Today I will showcase all the units in the game, and there's a lot of units. That's why I'm making this video, because so many units are in this, so many unique units that aren't even from World War 2. And so I thought maybe a video showcasing them would be pretty cool. And so here we are. There's 3 factions as of launch. As you can see, we have the USSR, Germany, and the US. But I am pretty confident to say that in the future we will see other factions such as the United Kingdom and Japan for sure. Maybe even some minor factions like France or Finland, or maybe even Italy, since previous Men of War titles also had them. So let's start by factions. Let's go for the USSR. As you can see, we have several subtypes. We have armored vehicles, howitzers, anti-tank guns, and a lot of infantry and special units. As you can see, if you want to see something in particular, just either let me know in the comments or pause the video. We have several levels as well, as you can see, 1 through 6, and this is just for and we can search them as well, but we're gonna start easy, nice and easy with the first level. We got some mortars, anti-tank guns. There are several anti-tank guns in this game, ranging from pack 36 all the way to pack 43s, just for reference. But this is the 45 Russian, and it's naturally pretty good. You can see all the information needed here. You can even click here and it should pop up with a live in-game render of the unit. Takes a while, because keep in mind this is the beta build that was given to me by Fulqrum and Best Way as a token of our sponsorship. And there you go. It comes in with a nice little car, nice little jeep. Drops off, runs away. There it is. Anti-tank gun, 53k. And you can have all the stats here. You got command points, crew survivability, and you can also have the penetration values and damage values for the gun. As you can see, reload time, roughly shots per minute. Got the HE fillers, APC, APBC. For those of you who play War Thunder, naturally this will come in very easy for you, and you will relatively know what pans what, even though there's some balance decisions that have been made naturally. But yeah, this is as you can see. Oh wait, this is, we only want the USSR for now. This is a 53k, and you can do that for the other units as well. This is gunners. These are particular units that you do not necessarily have to call in, but they do give you some benefits if you include them in your battle group, such as the engineers. You can, as you can see down here in the abilities, you can install barriers, sandbags, trenches, and they are supporting units. As you can see, squad for constructing, anti-personnel, anti-tank, breastworks, and so on. We have also PTRD squad, which is a handheld AT, anti-tank rifle. And then we got some premium units. As you can see, this is gold. This means it's a premium unit. And do not be afraid, there is no microtransactions. There is no in-game shop as of now, and they did say that they will not include such a thing, thankfully. Which means that all these premium units that you see down here as well can be easily bought by just playing the game. So what you have is you have credits, as you can see, these crates, and you can obtain those crates by just completing tasks and objectives, challenges, and so on and so on. Some challenges also will give you straight up battalions. As you can see, if I play using the first infantry battalion from the Germany faction, I will unlock the engineer battalion and the motorized rifle, and so on, so on. Which means that realistically, you can easily buy all of the premium squads. They obviously don't give you any bonuses in the sense that it's not like War Thunder or any of these other really grindy games where they give you some research bonuses or such. It's just a neat little squad that is unique and can be pretty strong in some cases. But yeah, as you can see, this is the bomb squad. Gives you remote mine installation, dynamite, grenades, and it can capture. But you know, it's a pretty cool little idea that they had for giving unit variety and making some units more special than others. Moving on, we have the Dishkas. Pretty easy. I'm gonna really gloss over some of these units because they're not as fancy as or as interesting as one can be. This is just a Jeep with a what is it? What kind of gun does it have? Oh, it's got a the S39 as well on top of it, 7.62. And you know, classic units such as the Maxim light infantry squads. Got the sidecar here, pretty cool. And we got some also airplanes because yeah, in Man of War you can control airplanes unlike other RTSs. So we got the PO2, which is naturally a recon plane. Doesn't have any weapons. Gives you a little information. It's got a huge detection radius, but naturally it's very vulnerable to pretty much anything that can shoot at it. There we got a bunch of infantry. Got the several tanks, several tanks here. A lot of variety when it comes to vehicles in this game. As you can see, T40 is just pretty much a glorified armored car. It's the an amphibious tank, which means that you can actually assault through rivers. That is a possibility in this game. A lot of maps have rivers, and this can definitely be helpful, especially since you know infantry can mount on top of it, so it can be a valuable unit when it comes to certain maps. But other than that, naturally, you know, it's just a tank with a machine gun. What kind of machine gun does it have? It's got a Dishka and a DT-29, so nothing special. And then we got the other T-40, but this one I think has a 20mm cannon. Yes, indeed it does. So you know, different variants of the same tank. It's pretty cool. Got the tank crew as well in case it gets decrewed and you want to salvage it from the front line. It's pretty cool. You got the some of the premium vehicles and units from the USSR are naturally from the Lend-Lease program. So you got a Willys Jeep with a Maxim, got a SMG recruits with a PPD-38, a bunch of trucks. This is just a utility, 61k. I'm pretty sure this is just a yeah 37mm. Got some light infantry support guns. And I've got another premium anti-tank gun. This is a howitzer, though I believe, yes, 76mm howitzer. Pretty cool. Got a mortar. Got also PTRS as well as the PTRD that I showed earlier. And then we've got a bunch of armored cars. You know, BA-20, BA-64, the usual Soviet guns. Bottle throwers. Now this is interesting because bottle throwers are like, you know, what the fuck does that mean? I believe that this is a Molotov thrower. Doesn't say explicitly, but you know, bottle throwers, a detachment of soldiers with bottles of combustible mixture, extremely effective against lightly armored targets, which means that they do realistically have Molotovs, which can definitely be used to destroy open top vehicles and such. And this is a premium unit, as you can see by the cold background. Pretty cool, pretty neat, very unique, and it's gonna definitely be fun to use it. We got a BT-7, backbone of the Russian army in the early war. Pretty solid. Got a Dishka, and here you go. This is some of the open top vehicles that the bottle throwers can definitely destroy. This is just a truck with what 23mm. No, 3 Dishkas mounted together. Pretty very Russian thing. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Got the M42, another very effective anti-tank weapon. got a howitzer as well that I glossed over. M3A1, American made APC. And then we got another premium vehicle, which is the Valentine. And this is a truly unique vehicle in the sense that, as of now, as I said before, there is no United Kingdom faction, which means that the Valentine is the only way you can play this tank for now. It's a premium vehicle. Obviously, it's a Lend-Lease. And I think this is the 2-pounder, which is the 40mm version of the Valentine. There are more versions of it, naturally, with the 75 and the 57, but for now we have the Valentine Mark III, I think it is. Yes. But it's a pretty neat little tank. As you can see, you know, it has some advantages and only one disadvantage. It's a pretty cool, neat little tank. We also have snipers in this game, and I'm sorry to break it to you guys, but there's also elite snipers that we'll get into later. But yeah, a bunch of tanks here, but also very cool tanks, such as the T-28 and the T-35. So for those of you who know these tanks, these are basically land ships. What does that mean? I'll show you what it means. There you go, look at this. It is a beast. It's got a main cannon of 76mm, I think, if I remember correctly. Yes, indeed, it's a bit of a howitzer. As you can see, it's short-barreled, but it also has, oh, look at that, it's even moving. It also has a lot of machine guns. As you can see, it has 5 DT-29s, which I believe are just pretty much the DP-28s, but tank versions. And they're mounted on these frontal-facing turrets that can actually, you know, move and look other ways. And this being a tier 1 tank, it means that you can immediately spawn this, and yeah, let's just say that it's quite the unit to face in the early minutes of the game. But what is an even better unit is this T-35. Bit of an evolution from the T-28, as you can see, but this is a fucking behemoth. It's got the same 76mm main gun, but it has two 45mm turrets, as you can see, one in the front, one in the back, that can swing both ways, and as well as machine guns. So this is most definitely a huge threat on the battlefield, and it's very fun that they include such units in the game, and it makes it a lot more chaotic. We also have T-60, T-70s. We know these tanks. T-60s has got 20mm, I think, right? Yeah, and T-70's got a 45. Got Sentinels. Now, Sentinels are pretty cool units because they have semi-automatic rifles, but they are basically spies. Don't really know how to you know, explain them more than that. And they have a high travel speed. They have grenades, smoke grenades, and they are simply like borderline military police. You just put them in your back lines of the front line, and they detect saboteurs and other infiltration units that we will get to later. Another vehicle that is prevalent within the Air Force of the USSR is the I-16. It comes in different sets. You can either drop small bombs or do rocket runs. It's pretty good. Then we've got a T-26E. This is another premium vehicle. It looks pretty cool, as you can see. It's just a buffed up T-26. Even though it says weak armor, it's ideally up armored than the regular T-26, as you can see from the showcase. And yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's an up armored T-26. Then we got some peculiar infantry units, Dyakonov's grenade launchers. Now, gonna be honest, I have no clue who the hell Dyakonov is, but I suppose it's gonna be some like special units within the USSR. I'm not really sure about it, but you know, as you can see, rocket launcher expert means that in this case it has rifle grenades, I believe. Yeah, and this is the stats. Don't underestimate the grenade launchers. They can take out even the bigger tanks. So this is a pretty cool, neat little unit, especially because you can use it to be extremely ratty with your gameplay. You know, just infiltrate in behind enemy tanks and disable them with a very low cost unit. Got some more infantry units. PO2 airstrike is just a PO2 with bombs, nothing much. And then we get to the pretty cool, unique tanks. We got, as you can see, a Panzer III that has been captured by the Soviets. And it's just a Panzer III, but naturally, if you particularly enjoy the Panzer III and would like to use it in the Russian faction as well, you can. It's a premium vehicle, naturally. Collectible unit, that's what they're called. It can be bought with supplies, as you can see, but it's pretty cool, and it's pretty much the same as the Stuart. Stuart has the same kind of idea behind it, Lend-Lease vehicle from another faction, and that can be brought in as a premium. Got some more vehicles. BT-7A, that's the artillery version of the tank. As I said before, several versions of each tank are present within the game. So if we saw earlier the regular BT-7 here, there it is, which has, you know, it's a light tank, 45mm gun. Then you also have the artillery version with the 76mm howitzer. Yes, same on the T-28 and the T-35. Got a premium field howitzer here. 152mm means that it's the same as the ISU 152, obviously, and some other big guns that we'll see later. Got some ZIS guns, infantry squads. The KV-1 obviously came with World War II Soviet faction, cannot be the same if it doesn't have a KV-1. It's gonna be a pretty damn good tank, and we'll see other versions of it as well. And we see another unique vehicle for now, the Churchill. As I said before, much like the Valentine, there is no UK faction in the game, which means that as of now, the Churchill Mark IV is a extremely unique vehicle, only to the US. It's got the 6-pounder, naturally, BESA machine guns, all the things you would expect, great armor, great survivability, but naturally it's not very fast, it's clunky, it's a bit of a behemoth, but it surely can be quite a pain in the ass to deal with. Got some more howitzers here, rifleman scouts, and so on, SU-76, and another version of the T-28. This one, it's a premium one, and I believe this has simply a different main gun. Yes, I think it does. It's got a long 76, so it can definitely pen stuff like Panzer IIIs, Panzer IVs, and obviously it has the same survivability as the previous T-28, the regular T-28. As you can see, there are a lot of premium vehicles here and premium units. We'll get into it soon enough. We have our first T-34, 1940, T-34 76, and there's pretty much any kind of version of T-34 that you can you can imagine is in the game, which gives you a lot of variety, a lot of cool little units, and so on. Got the ZIS-3, but we also have the ZIS-30, pretty cool vehicle. If for those of you who played War Thunder, you will know this little rat, and it's pretty much the same in Man of War. It's a very low cost, low survivability unit, but it can surely pack a punch. I've had this thing kill a tiger and a panther, so don't rule this one out. Next up, we also have another unit that can be easily recognizable if you played War Thunder, ZSU-37. It's just an anti-aircraft gun, but as with most anti-aircraft guns within this game, you can double it as anti-infantry and sometimes anti-vehicle as well. Naturally, if you hit a 251, a German half-track with a 37mm autocannon, I am sure that it will go up in flames. So cool little unit, another pretty unique one, premium vehicle, but as I said before, can be bought by just playing the game. Got some more premium infantry, not sure what these ones have. Yeah, pretty much nothing. I guess they come in with they're very cheap. Got a howitzer, 152 millimeter, and then we got a very premium, unique looking vehicle, KV1 Zaradino, which I believe means the motherland or something. And it's just a KV1 but with a different skin. I'll show you. It's got all the benefits of the KV1, but as you can see, it has a cool little skin on it. And there's several vehicles like this that we will see for the other factions as well. Just it's pretty cool. I mean, it gives something more to the vehicles, gives them personality, makes them look cool, and for the collectibles is a nice cool unit. Moving on. We have a flamethrower tank. Now there are flamethrowers in this game, as you would expect, but there's also flamethrower tanks, which are extremely effective against entrenched uh, infantry and garrisons and so on. Everything you would expect a flamethrower to absolutely annihilate, they do in this game. Sometimes even vehicles, you don't have to underestimate them. And so having such a nice little flamethrower armored tank within the early game can definitely be a pain in the ass, which is why this thing is premium. It's just a early war, probably interwar tank with a flamethrower, and it can definitely be a pain in the ass to deal with. We also have the milk trucks, 29k. A lot of units, as you can see, are directly taken from War Thunder, basically, if you've played them. But yeah, 29k is just a fucking milk truck with a huge cannon on top of it. And I'm sure that this can double as anti-aircraft gun, as well as anti-tank gun, anti-infantry, anti-everything, basically. Then we have the version that is just on the on wheels. Naturally, we have the IL-2, the Sturmovik, backbone of the Russian Air Force in World War II. And much like the other planes that we've seen as of now, this comes in different variants. We got the airstrike. I believe this one has just bombs. I think it gives you all the possibilities here within one. So it's got 250 kilogram bombs, rockets. Actually has the aircraft guns, which are 23 millimeters and the 7.62s. P-tab. So for those of you who played Code 2, you will remember P-tabs. These are anti-tank small little bombs that disable them. They're very cool. We also have 100 kilogram bombs and strafing rounds available. We also have paratroopers in this game. Every faction has them as of now. These are Russian paratroopers, naturally, and they're cool little units. Naturally, they can be annihilated by AA guns. It means that if the plane gets shot down while the paratroopers are still inside, you will completely use the unit. So you have to be careful. You have to recon and make sure there's no AA guns in the path. But if you can drop them behind enemy lines, they can surely create chaos, because they can easily camouflage. Have a lot of utilities, so they can take out pretty much anything if they can get close enough. Pretty cool unit. Moving on, we have flamethrowers as infantry and another KV1 variant. This one has a different gun, this 5 gun. Actually, I know what. Oh, it's a 76. It's just a long 76. That's all there is to it. But it is a premium vehicle, and another variant of the KV1, KV1S, just has a different kind of turret. It's harder to hit. And then we got the big fridge, the KV2. It's a very, very cool and fun unit to play with, as you would imagine. But as you can see, it's big. It's got a slow reload rate, and it can can decamouflage from a shot, which means that it's such a big boom that all the leaves on the tanks fall off. But it's a must to play with. It's very fun. There's also other big gun units within the game that we will get to shortly. Another version of the KV-1, KV-85. It's just a KV-1S, but with the 85mm, means increased damage, increased penetration, and increased HE filler. Got another Lend-Lease premium unit. This time it's a Sherman. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's just a Sherman. Then we have the NKVD Special Forces, another premium unit. It's a pretty cool looking one. I'm sure that it works a great way when it comes to detecting infiltration and saboteurs. Since it's it's the NKVD, we don't talk about that. Okay, and then we got the saboteurs. As I mentioned before, this is an infiltration unit. As you can see by the description, is for quiet assassinations and sabotage behind enemy lines. You can basically sneak around the battlefield with those, get behind the enemy lines, and destroy the units that are naturally beyond the front line, which means stuff like artillery, AA guns, supply depots, maybe even big tanks like the KV-2 or the Sturmtiger or other big guns. And they're very sneaky. They're very, very sneaky, and you can play with them in a very gremlin, goblin, ratty-like way. So as you can see, we're basically halfway through. There's not much left, more than halfway actually. But the variety is phenomenal, and not just in terms of units, but in terms of playstyles possible. If you're more of a tank guy, you can just rush the battlefield with stuff like KV-1s or the Churchill or the T-34s and stuff. But if you're more of an infantry kind of guy, you can go for the paratroopers, the officers, flamethrowers, saboteurs, and it gives you a lot of variety when it comes to playstyle, and that's what I love about this game. And it clearly shows when it comes to team games as well. Ideally you would want to have a person that's dedicated to artillery, a person that's dedicated to tanks, and then one person that is dedicated to infantry, just to have best of all the worlds. And it's fun. It's very fun. It's very fun. Moving on, we have some other big guns. We have SU-122. It's an assault gun. It's basically just an SU-85 with a 122mm howitzer. Packs a punch for sure, and has all the advantages and the disadvantages that you would expect from such a unit. Also have SU-85, great tank destroyer. Another version of the T-34. This one is the 57mm T-34. It's got a high velocity and good penetration, 57mm run, and as you can see, it has low projectile damage, but that's because it's a 57, so it's not gonna hit as hard as the 76, but it's gonna have more range, more velocity, and generally a easier time at hitting the targets far away. We have the classic T-34 here, 76 with the 1942 version. It's just a regular T-34. And then we have a premium T-34. This is the 76E. As you can see, it has upped armor, as are all the E version tanks. I'll show you right now. There we go, more information. And you can see it looks quite different from the regular T-34. It's got added on armor both at the sides. It's got armored skirts and on the turret, so it's understandable that this would be a premium vehicle, because naturally it's more effective and unique when it comes to it than the regular T-34s. We have artillery spotters, these two veteran sappers, DT-29 machine gunners premium unit, T-34 76 1941. As you can see, the turret changes ever so slightly. And then we have more versions of the T-34. T-34 57 1943 is just pretty much the 57, but with the 1943 configuration, which means that has a different turret and general improvements over the previous versions. We have another version of the KV-1, another premium version. This is the KV-1E. As I showed you with the T-34 and the T-26, this is a nubbed armor KV-1. As you can see, these big blocks of armor are added on the turret. I think it's slightly added on the hull as well, but mainly the turret, which makes this a formidable tank on the battlefield to take out. Not impossible though, as with most units. They are difficult to kill, some of them, but they're not impossible. Got some scouts, and then we have a premium plane. Don't see those too many often in the RTS genre, but this is the IL-2 with the 37mm guns, and it's just a pretty much tank destroyer airplane. It's gonna strafe enemy tanks, and it can definitely take them out, especially from the air. Then we get into the very big guns that I'm sure a lot of you would want to see. Little spoilers here, but we'll go into it rather easy. We've got the B4, huge 203mm gun. It's very fun. It's got a huge blast radius, and I can't really describe it enough. You have to feel it, you have to play with it to truly understand how immense and how much power this thing has. We've got the Katyusha, and actually this game couldn't be what it is without a Katyusha. Pretty much self-explanatory. It's just a rocket launcher mounted on the truck. Got the BS3, 100mm anti-tank gun that can be found on stuff like the SU-100, and yeah, you have the towable version of it. Heavy infantry squads, and we got the IS-1. First couple of big heavy tanks from the Russians. IS-1 is naturally the predecessor to the IS-2. It is pretty much an IS-2 when it comes to the armor, but it has an 85mm gun instead of the regular 122. We also have Marines, Russian Marines. You don't hear about them too often, but they did have them, and they're in the game. SU-100, it's just an SU-85 with a 100mm BS-3 gun. And then we got the backbone of the Soviet tanks, the T-34-85, pretty self-explanatory. Another premium vehicle is a Sherman from Lend-Lease, 76 Sherman this time. Not the EZ-8, do not confuse them. It's just the M4A2 with a 76mm. We got guards naturally. Then we got the OT-34, which, yeah, you read it correctly, it's a flamethrower version of the T-34. It doesn't have a main gun. Oh, it does? Oh, that's right, because it's the whole gun that is a flamethrower. Well, there you go. You got T-34 that also has a flamethrower. Naturally, this is a premium vehicle, as I would hope so, because Jesus Christ. And you get a T-34 that is also a flamethrower tank. It's gonna be incredibly strong and stuff like urban maps and so on. But not as strong as the KV-8. For those of you who played CO2, you will remember this absolute behemoth that is a pain in the ass to deal with, and it's in Man of War 2 as well. It's got a 45mm main gun, but it has a flamethrower, so you get the survivability and the armor of the KV-1. You got the firepower of something like a BT-7, and you get the flamethrower as well. It's crazy. Then we got a special unit, as you can see, T-34-85. By the way, the KV-8 is also a premium, but you pretty much know it at this point. And we got this one. It's a special T-34-85, and as with the previous KV-1 that we've seen, Zarodium, this is just a special T-34 because it has a special camouflage, as you can see. It's got some stripes, it's got some cool markings, and that's pretty much it. It's other than that, it's just a T-34, but it has, it's a collectible unit. It's for people that want to have all of them. I think that's pretty cool. I can understand those people. Moving on, we have another big gun, SU-152, not to confuse with the ISU-152. Because they are different. This is pretty much a heavy tank destroyer, but it doubles as an artillery pretty much, while the ISU-152 has a different gun which means that it has higher pen, higher velocity, and more suited for tank destroying rather than the SU, which is pretty much an anti-infantry big HG slinger tank. And then here we go. We have elite snipers. Yes, this is quite the unit. As you can see, look at all the advantages. One-man army pretty much. It's got the only disadvantage that it cannot capture territory. And look at the abilities. It's got stealth, can place mines, anti-personnel grenades, smoke grenades, and it can detect enemy stealth units. These are the stats. 2 SVTs. It's got 55 vision, 400 survivability, and so on, so on. And yeah, elite snipers are just fucking pain in the ass. Not much to it. They're just better all-round snipers. Moving on, we have the IS-2 1943, early version of the IS-2, and followed by his big brother IS-2 1944. It's got increased armor and just a better improvement of the IS-2. And then we have the biggest one of all, the IS-3. This tank is, I wouldn't say it's from World War II. I mean, it joined in like the extremely late stages of the war, but it is really pretty much a early Cold War tank. And yeah, I mean, just look at it. It's a fucking behemoth. It's incredibly hard to take out from the front. Pretty much impossible unless you get a very cool and lucky shot with some big guns. But yeah, if you want to take this thing out, you need to think about some very, very big stuff, like an airstrike, a incredibly big artillery piece. Or, you know, you can assault it with stuff like Zooks and other shaped charges, handheld AT weapons, Panzerschrecks and stuff. That can definitely hurt it. Maybe not from the front, but definitely from the side. We'll definitely have to learn how to reliably take it out. And yeah, ISU 152 assault infantry, got a T-34 with a minesweeper. It's just pretty much a T-34 with a minesweeper. It's pretty straightforward. Another version of the T-34, the T-34-85M. This has some cage armor, as you can see, both on the side and from the top to protect them from drone strikes. Kappa. And yeah, I suppose this is pretty much, yeah, as you can see, counter heat screens, which means that it's not as vulnerable to stuff as like rifle grenades, Panzerschrecks, Panzerfausts, and other heat rounds. So it can definitely be useful, I'd say. Getting tired of having to do that every time, lol. And yeah, but it's not a premium one. ISU 122 on the other hand is definitely a premium tank. It's just an ISU 152 with a 122mm gun, very effective against armor. Premium tank. Got the IS-2 1943 early. It's just pretty much a collectible tank. Yeah, it is different from the irregular IS-2 1943, but it's not like it's better or anything. Got a premium tank commando here. It's just a mechanized squad. It means that when you call it in, it gives you a T-34 1940 and 5 commando troops. It's just a call-in package. And interesting enough, we have a premium version of the T-34-85M, just as a collectible unit. Nothing much. And then the last one is just a tank commando that, as I said, much like the premium version, it just gives you a T-34 1942 and 5 paratroopers. And that's pretty much it. These are all the units from the USSR. Naturally, there will be new ones that will be added to the game as the game progresses. But as you saw, this is an immense level of variety when it comes to both infantry, air, and ground units. So yeah, pretty fun. This is it. I'll definitely make other videos showcasing the other two factions, Germany and the US. And they also have some very unique and cool units. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And leave a like if you did. Goodbye forever.